episodes, where Karen's actually going to tell us in this episode how she got rejected 19 times from getting the job with Singapore Airlines. She's going to tell us all the courses that she invested in that actually didn't make a difference and the one that did make a difference. So welcome back to those of you who were in our previous live. Welcome back as well. Now, we missed a few comments, but I think we can, we'll go back to them once we finish this one because they all disappeared. All right.
Whoa, yikes.
I didn't realize they all disappeared. This is our first time using this platform.
Yeah.
So now we know. I think it actually goes in when it's posted, so it should be there. So this one, we'll keep an eye on the chat in case anyone has any questions. So if anyone has any questions, you want to be crew or you know someone, and this isn't just for a crew, I actually think that what you're about to tell us is applicable to any dream career that you want.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I agree because I've applied this a few times in my own life. Okay, cool. Oh, awesome. So like you mentioned to us in part 1, and if you missed part 1, it's just here. You can check it out on the feed. But it took you 3 years of trying, applying, and being rejected to get the job. Yeah, and mind you, over that period of time, that's where the airlines were all expanding. Oh, so really? you would think that it would be easy though, because they're expanding. You would think that they would just try and lower the standards and take in whoever they can take in, but no.
Right. And that when you were applying during the growth of the airline industry, basically, and you still weren't getting it. So what did you think you needed to become cabin crew?
Now, this may not, I don't know how relevant it is for now, but I'm sure to a certain extent it still does. You need to look a certain way. You need to look a certain way.
So you thought that you need to look like a certain height? Mm-hmm.
So my height, I just made my height, and I wasn't fat, right? But I wasn't skinny enough. If you have a picture, you do have a picture of me, right?
I
was skinny.
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
So you need to be a certain size. Now that applies to certain airlines. Yes, depending on the uniform, like Singapore Airlines, you do need to look a certain size. If not, you.
Yeah, for us too. Actually. There was a rumor that Singapore Airlines only has one size for the uniform.
That is indeed a rumor, but the uniform is fitted to you. And do you know how they fit us? They will measure you. The tailor will measure you, and then they actually pin you right. They pin you until you are absolutely tight, and there is no give.
Oh, right.
So you can't get fat.
So basically everything's tailored to you in the tightest form, basically.
Yes, they actually pin. They actually grab the fabric so tight and they pin it.
Right.
So that it's very, very form fitting.
Okay. And what happens if you do? What if?
As long as you can zip up, you can fly.
Oh, really? But what if you can't?
Well, then they will have to ground you, or you can go to see. They used to use 2 tailors. One of the tailor will have a little extra give. So if you go back to them, they will let it out for you, right? But there is another one who wouldn't do that because you got to be that size. So unfortunately, if you go to that one, you're done for. So they will ground you. You will lose weight until you fit it in again.
Right. Yeah, we had the same. We had something very similar. Yeah. It was, I forgot what the program was called, but it was something along the lines of you get grounded if you're not within the, if you've gained a certain amount of weight. But yeah, so, all right. So you first thought that you needed to look a certain way. Did you think that you needed a specific type of education to become cabin crew?
I did think that. That's why I thought I'll go into the hotel industry, because it's related to the travel industry, you would think. But no.
That didn't make a difference.
No.
How much time?
Yeah, you need to speak well. You need to speak well, and there are certain questions they ask you, and the answer sounds stupid, but it's not. They want to hear you say it. They want to hear that you are compliant enough that you will do as you're told.
Also, give me an example of a question that you think sounds like silly, but they want to hear the answer.
I know. So you mentioned that I went for a cabin crew course, promise that you'll get in. They teach you how to do the makeup. They teach you how to create the look. Right. So, but that is not important. because they want to see potential. They don't want you to come and say, oh, I know it all. So I learned that as well, that they want to see potential. It's not about coming with the makeup done correctly. No, it's not about that. So one of the questions I've learned later on, where I did this course, she said, you have to answer this question this way. I thought, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. It's too obvious. They will ask you, why do you want to be an air crew? And the classic answer is, because I like to serve people.
Is that the supposed right answer?
That is the correct answer.
Does anyone say that?
Yes. And
the
you
people
have
who
to
get in, obviously.
Because they want to hear you say it, so that, because later on down the line, how I eventually got the job was I asked.
Who did you ask?
I asked the interviewer.
Oh, you went straight to the source.
I did, because every time I would get a step closer. So Singapore Airlines has got 3 stages.
Yeah.
Stage 1, it's a hotel mass intake thing. They'll ask you this basic question, why do you want to, and they look at you to see how you look. You know, you look nice and you're slim, you speak well, and you have a nice smile. Check. You go on stage 2. And then stage 2 is group is a group interview again, but at Singapore Airlines office, to see whether you're a team player or not. And then the 3rd interview is a tea party with all the senior crew and the swimming test.
A tea party? You mean like a cocktail? No, so like a daytime situation?
Yeah.
It's a tea party.
A tea party, yeah. You go there and then you socialize.
Is that still the way they do it now? I've never.
I don't know. I don't know if that's still the thing, but that was the done thing for many, many years.
So tell me, what were you not doing 19 interviews ago?
I didn't look the part.
Look. What about speaking?
I sounded just fine, because remember, I had a performing background.
Okay.
So I had speech training, all that. So I speak fine. But naturally, I didn't sound like that, because now I'm married to Australia. I live in Australia. So I sound a little bit, Aussie, but I sound neutral. So I speak fine. It was how I look that was an issue.
How did you look back then?
I had an accident with my front teeth. So I had to have a bridge put in, and I was overcrowded. My teeth was overcrowded. So that's why it took me this long. I had braces put in.
But you were still applying during the time that you were wearing braces?
Because the dentist was doing it for me. It wasn't Invisalign, but it was something similar. So I didn't have like the metal thing put in. It wasn't.
Right.
So within 6 months, I could go back and try again.
Right.
Yeah, and I had to lose weight.
Oh, really? Okay. So did they tell you that, or you gathered that?
I asked that because I couldn't make it.
So every interview you were doing, you would ask them, or
not every interview. I think after I got really not getting the job was unimaginable to me, and I couldn't imagine not getting it. So even if I got rejected, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll just go again. I don't know why. It was something in my head that says not getting the job is not an option. So I don't even think about it. So maybe after the 10th time or so, even the people, because when you first go in, they measure your height.
Yes.
Even the people who measure the height knew me.
Oh, did they? Because you'd been there so many times before.
Yes. So I know they'll say,
Karen, welcome back.
Yeah, well, I said, yeah, you don't have to measure, just come straight in, give us a form, we come straight in. So
how do they measure you, by the way? By an actual measuring tape, or
yes, during my time, it was like a measuring tape on the wall, and then they use the clipboard.
We did reach test. You reach the top of a door.
Oh, I heard of that.
Yeah, so that's why you can do like little tricks so that you can reach it. There's like tricks on the internet about how to look taller and how to be taller.
Actually, there is a way. Even the new ones, you can just have a little tiptoe. You just it works.
Yeah. There's a tip if you've been getting rejected.
You have to be very smiley though. So
that's right.
After the 10th time or so, I can't remember exactly, but I actually asked the interviewer, because they would recognize me. After a few rounds, they sent out this almost the same people that are like they're like on a roster or something, same people. I finally asked the interviewer, like, I never made it to stage 2. Why is that? Would you tell me? If I have no hope, tell me. Why is that? What is it? What do I need to do to get me to the next stage? And of course, nobody has ever asked them that.
That's quite bold. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. This is interesting. So it was a lady. She said, sit down, I'll tell you. And if you show me that you're doing something about it, I'll help you.
How long did she sit with you to give you that time?
Oh, no, she gave me like 10 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, we just sat there, but it was quite a distance though. So it was quite daunting because she's behind the desk and she's so far away. She's yelling out at me. I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Hang on. So were you asking her this question once everyone had left?
No, you can't, because she will do the interview and then she will tell you, okay, you're good to go. We'll let you know.
Okay.
So you have to get up and go. So I got up and I said, can you tell me what I did wrong? Can you tell me what I need to do so I can go to the next stage? And then she's like, okay.
Do you remember what she told you in that one?
Yes, she said, you need to fix your teeth because your smile is not good enough. And you need to lose a little bit of weight, not a lot. You're not, but if you look really nice in the uniform, there's no reason to say no. And you need to smile more, but you're not smiling more because your teeth are a mess.
Right. And then you continue to apply after that, but you still didn't get it right away because that was the 10th interview, right?
Yes, that's right. But so every time, so 6 months later, I've gone back and she would keep saying no. She would actually, I'll try and see her if she's there. But if not, I'll try my luck anyway. She said, keep applying because then your interview skills get better.
So it's not a problem for them to see you again?
No. And because people do that. Do you know they do that? They fly to a different state to apply for the same job.
Yes, yes. Well, because some people feel embarrassed, actually. Some people feel embarrassed to keep going back, and so then they stop. So, but you kept on going. And you kept on asking questions. No, this is good. I'm just thinking about the viewers who are out there who've even had coaching done and still didn't get it. They got a job with another airline, but not with the airline that they want to work with.
Yeah.
And so can you tell us how many more times did you go and keep asking questions?
So when
were you doing this every time?
I have a chance to see her, when she sees me, she will tell me how close I am. So when I say 30 times, not 30 times I got stuck on stage 1. Then I will move on. I will go a few times into stage 2. And then sometimes I'll fail at stage 3. And then they'll tell me why. Because given my personality, you can know that I can come across pretty hard. That I get excited with the team games. I'm like, let me do it. I can do it. So they want someone who is a team player, and who they don't want an outright leader. Like I said, they want compliance.
Yeah, that's what we would say as well with people going for. I think it must be across the board because you're joining a team and it's not so much about, you don't need to be the leader from the beginning because you're actually starting from junior.
That's right.
So you said before that you did some courses and those weren't the course. So what was it that made the difference? What for you made the difference?
It was the asking.
Yeah.
So if like you say, you have viewers who have joined the other airlines and they still want to join the airline of their choice, but they wonder why they can't get it, they need to ask
directly.
Yeah, they need to ask the interviewer or find a way to find a crew who flies with them. So if you want this job so bad, you will have to find a way. You got to find a way to the top to find out what is that thing that they're looking for. But across the board, they look for a good smile, polite, and compliance.
Do you think that there's ever a point where you can show up to the interview, everything is perfection, energy plays a role? Someone's way of being, their presence? Would you ever, how some people really want it and you come in and it's almost like a desperation.
I was desperate.
Yeah. So do you think that, was that ever on your mind? You're like, because you're doing all the right things technically.
Yeah. But if you don't fit the mold, I mean, that's why people, I use this when I go and do speeches about, you know, not giving up on your dreams and being persistent.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something to be said, because people say, how can you even imagine, how can it even occur to you that you can go back and try again?
Yeah.
Because they already said no.
Yeah.
So find out, why did they say no? Is it something about me? Is it like absolute no? Is
Yeah.
it something I can change?
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't all about
then change it and come back.
Right. So it's just because you thought outside of the box, and that's how you worked out what you needed.
I guess.
What you needed to do. Because not everyone was asking people, you know, the recruiters, for feedback. And that's what I think that was your secret recipe to getting the job.
That's right.
And you'll never find that, guys. I don't know if there's any video out there that ever says, well, if you're not getting the job, ask them why. This is first, I think. I've never heard of this before.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's, well, there's a lot of things that come up before you even go for an interview, and you kind of think, what am I allowed to do? You know what I mean? Like, what am I allowed to do? What am I expected to do? And that's where most people's heads are. It's like, what am I allowed to do? What am I expected to do? What can I do within what I've heard? But in this case, you kind of thought outside of the box and took it upon your own hands and said, what's not working?
Yeah,
what's not working? Yeah.
Yeah, and no one else can give you the answer except the people in the hot seat.
Right. Yeah.
And if you don't ask, you don't get. So
if you don't ask, you don't get. That's valuable. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you guys, so Karen's got a channel. It's her name, Karen Foot. I'll pop it in the description box of this video. Karen does address a lot of different issues that people aren't openly willing to talk about, or you can't really find a lot out there on the internet. She addresses a lot of those things, thinking outside of the box, embracing your situation. That's what Karen did in her life to get her dream job, before, during, and after. So feel free, go ahead and check out Karen's channel. I'll put the link in the description box below. And Karen, what's your next episode coming up?
The next one is coming out today, I think.
Yeah.
It is coming out today. It is about alopecia. Can you cure alopecia? Can you? Can you not?
So hair loss.
Yes,
people who are
hair loss. Overall hair loss, like it could be overall, like everywhere. Overall.
They're going to talk treatment. They're going to talk management. She's interviewing someone who is, and a lot more. So do go ahead and check out her channel. But for now, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. That was a good time.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun, and I hope people get something out of it from our collective experience. I hope you got something out of it.
Yeah, totally. I think it does go to show. I think your experience just goes to show as well that after the life is like the perfect opportunity to build the one that you want. So thank you again, everybody. Thanks for viewing. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the description box below. I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.